Oh, and good evening. Welcome. You're here in Razahan. Hey, what's up, Snapchat? It's your boy, Sylvain Demon Vein, here with you at Razahan. Right, well, yeah, we are here to do the role quests for healer. Healer roles, yes. Alright, so let's jump right into it. I'm here at the Hall of the Radiant Host, and I am to speak with the Almegan delegates and see what plagues them. Let's see, far from free. The Almegan delegate at Razahan has grim news to convey. A man's wielding a giant fork. If you're ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. Oh, hey, May. Welcome. And good afternoon to you. I think it's afternoon over there, yeah? We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we have thought to petition you for aid. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers, but if I must... well, good afternoon to you indeed, and I hope you've had your lunch. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I last streamed. I mean, in general, I streamed like a couple of days ago. But that was after, what, 2 months? At least 2 months of inactivity. But I am back for the time being. Honestly, like, this is probably the more sensible answer, but I do want to see what his response is if I reply with this. Yeah. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers. But if I must. Ha, well, no man or woman alive could hold a candle to the Warrior of Light. But in any case, we're stretched rather thin at the present. Given that we know precious little of our foe, we'd sooner turn to the best of the best, and now then wait until the need is undeniable. Skill issue. We do indeed. Yeah, I mean, you can just hit me up on Discord, like in the usual server, the rest of them. Or, you know, just DM me. Or on Twitter. No doubt my Uldan comrades will be heartened to have you fighting alongside them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Alamigan allies to hunt in their hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to retrieve the tempered Imperials captured Pavithan. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamigan quarter and report for duty. Commander Aldin is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Rolga grant you strength. I mean, it's a sensible course of action. Like, if you have contact with a literal godslayer, why wouldn't you, like, try to petition for aid? Granted, I mean, it would be nice if they actually tried to solve it themselves, but, you know, I suppose they can't. Or they're unable to, so that is a real skill issue. What data center and server do I play on? I play on the Ether data center on Sargatanas. Or, since now, like, cross data center travel is possible, it's the North American region. Sent him to the Shadow Realm. Hey yo, he's streaming right now. I am indeed streaming right now, I see. Let's see, Twintania. Twintania? Let's see, where is that? Yeah, Twintania is on the light data center that is in Europe. Which, I guess that makes sense since you are in Germany right now. Who knows, maybe one day they'll allow like a cross-region play. Ah, Master Demon Bane. We're told you were on your way. But this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Aldin you've arrived. One moment, please. I guess he even come stalk you. Well, we are in different regions, so unless you have character on a North America servers, might not be possible. It's a boy Roban. Glad you could join us. He disappeared out of nowhere. Was he hiding that sack of potatoes this whole time? Now that the far greater crisis have been resolved, we may and must turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. Square Enix win. I don't want to make a new character. So much money and energy went into me. Mickey. Stop time and walk over. Tokyo Tomare! Yeah, Roban has a stand. And it has been proven that time stop is an actual ability in Final Fantasy. Like, in the world of Final Fantasy. I don't know whether normal people can stop time, but it's definitely possible. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Oh, that's a big boy. As our man Thavnera will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Alamigo. Stopping time. Jotaro! Shall we compare the speed of our attack rushes? Play Final Fantasy and start naming them Dio Brando and start talking about them. Yeah, we just have to be like, you definitely just have to just like play a monk or a ninja at that point. Actually, no, monk makes more sense since it's hand to hand, or summoner, or maybe reaper. Plenty of options. So just make Dio. I'm sure Dio exists somewhere, but you know, there's many variations of the name that you can play with. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. One heal and one Bucci. Just made in heaven. Let's accelerate time. But the fiend managed to escape, and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. Yeah, Stone Ocean was actually a very interesting part to the whole series. As was the case in Thavnair, Blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Did anyone see the change take place? Aye. There were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamigan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. But beyond the fact that he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not have even been born in Alamigo. Might have been the son of refugees come to visit. Other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair. And whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent further tragedies, it's imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Till we do, we have no choice but to deal with the afflicted, the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I will have you join the hunt, and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. But you're up to it. I can safely say I know what's going on in Stone Ocean. In the anime event manga. Oh yeah, I mean I've read the original manga, I don't know. How long ago has it been? 5+ years at least? I'm gonna start reading all of the JoJo parts. Steel Ball Run is Pog, yeah. Steel Ball Run is pretty Pog. I have not started on JoJo Line Part 8. I've not started on Part 8. I'm kind of just pretty much waiting until it's completed before I read it. My whole anticipation of wanting to know what's next is driving me nuts. So I'm not going to subject myself to that until it is done. Might be a while though. Oh, really? Fantastic. Yeah, I shall get right on that. You have my thanks. And as chance will have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Next part is coming out in a few weeks' time. Oh, that is very Pog. Part 9 JoJo Lands. I can't even imagine what Part 9 is going to be about. Off the little that I know of Part 8 was pretty... It's really bizarre, as bizarre goes. Where the hell is the door? No, no, no. I gotta go over to there. The only one in the bunker wait with fuck. Yeah, wait. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that late right now. But you should. Wait, what time do you have to wake up tomorrow anyway? It's down there. What's the fighter, wounded fighter. Ugh, it's my own damn fault for being so careless. What must Commander all didn't think of me? Lights out is at 11:30 and wake up at 05:20. Oh yeah, plenty of time I guess, another 45 minutes or so. Let's chill out, relax, enjoy yourself, you know. Really just make the most of whatever spare time that you get. Knowing what they are, who they were. Could any of us end up like that? The PPT starts tomorrow with course tests. Oh, nice. All the best for that. Sure, you'll do fine. Hey, he's done the sensible thing of wearing a helmet. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull the lot of them, victory did not come easy. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village and gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Alright. Gods be good and I feel reborn. Tiring day tomorrow and sustain. Maybe that's why everyone's like already asleep at this hour, you know? Hold on, you're Sylvain, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the resistance in the first place, and now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. Oh hey. Cool. I saw them change, right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters that killed them, but innocent man. Only like a select few needed to do IPPT because they did it 2 weeks ago. Ah, I see, I see. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect, and thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. Families, they'll understand it. Now it's your turn. Yeah, all the best. Yeah, you know, just do what you can, you know. Don't force yourself, but at the same time, just I don't know, just give it your 100%, I suppose. My man's in a wheelchair. It was good of you to come all this way, though I never doubted for a moment that you would. I mean, I'm literally a healer, why can't I just like fix the legs? Johnny Joe's tourniquet. For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks, and theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my research is any indication. But we must be vigilant, remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair ordeal yourself, Sylvain. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting a hang of his wheelchair. Obviously it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned. Ragenfried? 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 Ragenfried, I guess, yeah. I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lise held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Girabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there are still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society, in particular the surviving families of the Crania Lupi. Lupi? Crania Lupi? I thought you despised the skulls. Well, you certainly changed the tune. Make no mistake, I've not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Ordilla asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities, why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple, because they'd seen what we'd seen, and suffered much the same. In hell where all were condemned, they choose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Guardians win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one, or man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledge allegiance to Garlemald. This is not the Alameda we dreamed of. After 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. Aye, and in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. But despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? It comes as no surprise. Your kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience feels shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation, a man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Guardian in Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated, to hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, it can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart, and I owe it to Abba and Ali to make the most of this life, so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Kiribania again. So, Commander Aldin, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together we will prevail. Now that we have Sylvain on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beasts we encounter. For I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear. I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance from time, in the meantime. Very good. For now, let us return to the city. For all you've done for the people of Kiribania, we couldn't ask for more. And yet, here you are. With you on our side, those beasts are no match for us. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal, and to find the strength to, if not forgive, then to come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. For our problems are not new. The emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer. And we will be better for it, ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be first to know. Until then, may Rhalgr watch over and keep you. The Butcher's Blade. The struggle to prevent the emergence of beasts grows increasingly desperate. We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you the Commander Alden at once. You're welcome inside as always, Lieutenant. Hi. Lots happened since we last spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy. As have I and my men. But I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. It's kind of neat that they reference your company rank. Since Raban is the commander of the Immortal Flames, and I am, was former commander of the Immortal Flames, and I grinded my way all the way up to like first lieutenant. Unfortunately, everyone else has had better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Giribania. Putting them down is as important as hunting for blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. All this was true of the recent incident in Alagana. We cannot have people jumping to conclusions, given that they might feel tempted to do. Given what they might feel tempted to do. It has been suggested that we take these individuals into custody for their own protection as much as for the safety of others. But that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors. The recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in their endeavors, and see if there is aught that can be done. Also, you will be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. Is it... I thought I felt my ears burning. Is it $4? Please tell me it's $4. It is $4! Yes! I said I don't need a keeper. Did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Ah yes, our favorite war criminal tomboy GF. Would marry. I knew you would, Seth. I know you would. Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agree to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Sylvain. I disagree. I am a terrible healer. I do not mean healer. It's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Thick as thieves, are we now? Then there's no need for this sodding collar, eh? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon, but if this is how it is to be, then fine, so long as it keeps out of my way. I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Allegano. Several relatives of the Crania Lupi have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution. If anyone so much as mentioned the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Let's get this over with. Ah yes, a magic suppression collar. She's as much at risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own echo, either. Sometimes the visions come with a warning, and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades. So look out for her. Please. I wish there was more I could do for her myself. But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end. So must we all. Pull for Dola's lead. We're counting on you both. Be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it. Dola's not the sort to ask for help, so make sure she doesn't get in over her head, would you? Okie dokie. I wonder if the G is silent in his name, so his name's actually pronounced like Renfried or something. It seems a little bit more sensible than Ragenfried. I'll admit, this is not quite what I had in mind. I wonder if I should use that as my old man voice now. Let's take a closer look at you, shall we? Senile demon baby. Finally, I have written my life's memoirs in red ink. Actually, what was that quote from SpongeBob? We need to look it up. We sell rakes. Only rakes. Yeah, it's finally finished. A memoir of my life, written in red ink. I had a feeling Robin would send you something. But as for her... If you got any complaints, take it out with the commander. No, that's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day in the royal palace, I've been thinking. Stop. You don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. To the matter at hand, then. We silver griffins have been working to support the relatives of the crania lupi. One family has gone missing. A mother and her parents, who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen. And when they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. To shreds, you see? What of the furniture? To shreds, you see. Thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claws by the looks of them. You think they've turned? Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please, do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. She better not be making fun of me for being Asian. What the fuck is that? I sense a hostile presence. Alright, let me just shoot you with my cancer guns. Ah yes, the cube. Crumpled letter. What the hell are these things? Let me take a look. See that cube over there? I'm gonna wrestle it. Marble Urolith. yeah, these are actually sentient rocks. What the hell? Resin cube. In the dirt, you spy an envelope containing a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Oh no. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you. Sorry. And I know this is probably supposed to be a very tragic letter and all, but I just immediately thought of like the Dear Sister skit. Imagine, imagine I'm just like reading the letter halfway and then you just hear.
What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is.
Oh my god. Oh, honestly, someone should just make an edit of that, right? uh, I'm very certain that the skit, like, letter in the skit actually starts off the same way as well. uh, cuts to the... Because that's one of the cues holding a Beretta and then looking all shocked. Oh, fuck. Actually, actually, you know what? Just help me clip out the entire section of like that whole bit. I feel like I'm gonna need to like draw this as a meme. How to clip? On the bottom right screen of the bottom right corner of like the stream window, there should be like a little clip button. You can only clip 1 minute though, but you can scroll the timing a little bit, so just, you know, fiddle around with that. Thank you. This is comedy platinum right here. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I have never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Until then, take care and know that I love you with all my heart. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. Oh, missed it. Cordova. I sense a hostile presence. Another one of these. Ah, well, no worries. Thank you for trying, though. It's all sad that it's the upside of Ligma. Nice dive, Phlegma. Who the hell Steve Jobs? Phlegma balls. Time-worn wedding ring. Message removed. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring, with a name and date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Rank 3. Oh, okay, $4, okay. What's done is done. Were you able to find anything? I have one crumpled letter, but its contents neither verify nor disprove your suspicions. This letter was almost certainly penned by a now deceased member of the Crania Lupi. The outer edge is covered in a myriad scuffs and scratches, while the inner is marked with only a name and date, carefully engraved. It's time to hydrate. Posture is good. And I'm now hydrated. Then it is as we feared. I found and killed a third. It was carrying this. A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to the next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one as possible under the circumstances. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it, and the scars. But no matter who we were or what we did, we're Alamegans, then and now. Oops, that was the wrong voice. I was still writing free. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons, even an old man like me can yet wield. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. I'm sorry, what is wrong with his face? Is he trying to smile? Oh, I suppose that's like his smiling expression, and then it's normally like a large, strong features probably just made him look a little bit, a little bit strange. Keep this to yourselves, but Everett's brother, younger brother, was a member of the Crania Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first. But after we gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well. It's her, the butcher. Traitors, all of us. Kinsley is deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. Get back. Get back. PTSD so hard you become mega racist. I mean, to be fair, Rodola actually is a war criminal. I'm not like making a joke here. She's done some terrible things. And I suppose it's understandable considering that I think this village of Algana was one that she's personally like slaughtered. We'll do terrible things in battle, right? My guy, you are down atrocious. Understandable though. Stay away from her. Rodola saved your girl's life. I know, but she's... It happened in an instant. That poor lad. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here. We're not living a song or... We're not living a song or a fairy tale. These problems we struggle with won't be solved overnight. Nevertheless, we've got to do what we can do to move forward as a people united. Or we'll have to keep dealing with tragedies like this. She risked her life to save my daughter. Whatever else she may have done, I owe her for that. I want to say thank you to the brave lady for rescuing me. Do you think I'll see her again? Fine. Leave me be. I said I don't need your help. Come on now. You're a soldier once. You know that all injuries have to be treated. I'm a healer, however. It's only your injuries I'm worried about. Bloody hells. If you're here to patch me up, get on with it. Quietly. Feisty, aren't you? A coral can't change its spots. There's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking out Guardian Steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, until I stopped counting, stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right, it's for the greater good. You give the order, Feel the ground tremble as the cannon fires, and when the dust settles, and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, and you tell yourself, huh, me too. Uh-oh. Yeah, you mustn't give in. I won't let it take you. I think it's a more heroic option. That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be alright. I just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Everything the skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did, in the end, it was all for nothing. You know, this is actually surprisingly intimate. Like, it's just two people talking here, but Ordola is, like, entire characterization is her constantly pushing everyone away. And the fact that she isn't, like, just, like, storming off by her own is quite a change. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked, and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to different people? Was it always in me to be me? All I know is, everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. But I was, and I dragged others into a hell of my own making. I remember these two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger... he would have never made it as a soldier. He was too kind, too good. Ansfrid died at Specula Imperatoris. But his brothers are still out there. Somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserves. Not all of the craniolupi at the towers died that day, though. I know from one of my visions that at least one survived. Rudolph. I'm glad he made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Rolga I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise. Welcome back. Rodola's already given her account. I'd like to hear yours too. So she almost turned into a beast herself. We'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Algana are considered, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connections to the Crania Lupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken into living in secret. Others made their way to Ul'dah as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. A new battleground. The quest to protect vulnerable Alamegans leads to Ul'dah. Our request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since we've last spoke. Blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair and turn, even with Almegan and Ul'dah forces searching for signs of the beast and more potential victims. We've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of a man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us to track it down before it strikes again. We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains that a vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning, without question. Fordola concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. Seems like a waste of a capable soldier. She deserves a chance to make amends. I'm inclined to agree with Sylvain. She was able to resist the transformation, and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. If only I could go in her stead. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. I believe she would benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles our people face. You gain from the experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion in her own arena, as brave as any warrior. I doubt she'd have much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance. Arnval and I will go on ahead and wait for you and be hustings strip. We'll see you in the... It's the first time I've been back here since I discharged myself from the infirmary without telling anybody, mind. I must remember to stop by and offer my thanks and an apology. I only let her out of my sight for a moment. Master Papashan was just telling us an animal, or should I say, Lady Lilira, has gone for another of her jaunts about the city. Though it's not my place to question her grace's judgment, I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own. And perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting. If I may say so, sir. With blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going out for a stroll. I suspect that may be the very reason. She wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times. Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though. No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to. Come on now. We might be here on official business, but we're old friends. And as you may remember, I have a knack for tracking down errant sultanas. Some might say that knack is rather charitable. I should be glad of the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Questing the locals will give me an opportunity to learn of the recent going-ons in Oldar too. Well then, there's no time like the present. Fear not. With me on the case, this will be over before you know it. Things will not be over as we know it. And just between you and me, Oban has never had much luck at finding Lady Lyra. Rather the opposite, which isn't to say that he is misinterpreting his capabilities. Perhaps his recollections of events simply differs somewhat from reality. Oh no. If she's supposed to be meeting us here, maybe we should wait for her to come to us. Why do you look like every basic dude ever? It's been some time since I last combed these streets for young Lilira. As a matter of fact, Papashan and I will compete to see which of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favor. The trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms, the tiniest movements that may give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done. Follow my lead. Oh, just look downright important, don't we? She's fond of perusing the stalls here. Estee Lauder. Supposed to rename themselves after a cosmetic brand. If she's not here, where could she be? What if she's been abducted? In one of these pots? Perhaps not. Why would she be hiding in a pot? I mean, I understand that she's tiny enough to fit in there, but like, come on now. I've never known her to be this elusive. You good, man? That's odd. I've tried all her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. Gods, why did she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted? Or run afoul of a beast? There's no need to assume the worst. We should keep looking. You're right, I know. But it's hard not to worry. Where could she be? This really is like a dad looking for his lost daughter. Come to think of it, something Papa Shan said caught my ear. I thought Nanamo went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemy and the beasts. To better understand how her people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Pearl Lane, then. Might I ask you lead the way? I'll admit my ability to track missing persons may have dulled somewhat. Pearl Lane has ever been plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back. So go ahead and give the search for Lilira your full attention. This way, perhaps. Is this guy trying to ambush me? No, it's not. About Pearl Lane. Let's read around first. Some say money can't buy you happiness, but they've never tried living without it. Those who call Pearl Lane home never had the luxury of choice. The city's poorest live here, and as such are at greater risk of turning. Knowing this, I expect Lilira came to learn from their plight. While it may not be immediately obvious, conditions here have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts of Garabania, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Bilzar's wall. Not even near too well. Family ain't interested unless you got a business proposal, pal. Got it? Good. Now get the hells out of here. Alrighty. In every society, we live in a society. In every society, there are the haves and the have-nots, and seldom is the divide more sorely felt than here in Ul'dah. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime. There she is. Nana. Lady Lilira. Robon, whatever are you doing here? And Sylvain, too. Well, I'm glad to see you both. Our meeting is not yet due to commence for several belts. What is the meaning of this? We were worried, with good reason. These are far too dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace. Some things never change, but I assure you I am quite capable of looking after myself. In my own city, of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring late. But I might be better prepared to participate in our discussion later. But I have finished. You will be comforted to hear. Then pray, allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder? Certainly not. You have already attracted more than enough attention. Oh no. Oh no, this really is a dad and his kid. Righto, upstairs I go. I had every faith you and Commander would find her. I have a feeling the search would have taken rather longer if Robin had been left to his own devices. Thank you all for making the journey here, during these difficult times. May I offer you an egg in these trying times? And it is my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause. With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier. Still, I say, Commander Alden would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people, and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims. We have indeed. Hence the need to locate families of Cranialupi members who have fled to Vanland. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamigan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. Rest assured that, irrespective of their pasts, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide. Magnanimous as always, Your Grace. If I might be so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change? I believe there is but one recourse. Earnest and open dialogue. While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control, our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved, a powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my naivety, and then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions. To love our neighbor and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one. Truer words were never spoken. But without the support of the people, such words are not but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monetarists have been met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground. Common ground. We've been pouring all of our efforts into aiding families of the cranial lupi, and while it seemed to help to a degree, we still have succumbed. Some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought for resistance, or were caught in the middle, they all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester. The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten. But rather than to seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost. Aye, a remembrance. I propose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did, let them be loved. Let them be hated. But above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we the living of Alamigo may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing together people who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. But again, we can't keep ignoring the married in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me, and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together. And I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people. Winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician, so I'd be grateful for any advice you can share with me. Why, I would be delighted to. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you. And on that note, I suggest you and I return to Alamigo. To see the Sultana grow and become such a capable and compassionate leader, it brings a tear to my eye. Wonder what our Olier would say if I could tell them that I had a chat with the Sultana. I can hardly believe it myself. The relationship between Ul'dah and Alamigo is one which I cherish deeply. It is imperative that we coordinate our efforts in facing this crisis. I knew Arenval will make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. And while his proposed memorial ceremony is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but enough, I pray. Warpart must stand at the ready for whatever event may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments. Arval wishes to put your considerable reputation to good use. A new battleground complete. Oh, what was his quest? Very well, Sylvain. Commander Alden has asked me to convey to you the following information. At present, we are looking into reports of missing relatives of Crania Lupi. With the cooperation of the Silver Griffins, we are currently searching for any clues as to their whereabouts. Thanks to the concerted efforts of Ragnfried and the others, the general public has been willing to cooperate with our investigation. While many still harbor feelings of distrust of our collaborators and their kin, they've grown more receptive to our cause on the whole. Arenvald's been making steady progress in preparing for the memorial ceremony. He plans to host a meeting between the various community leaders to go over the finer details. In fact, he was wondering whether you could assist in delivering the invitations. If you can spare the time, you should be able to find him in the Mercantile District. Anyway, that's all for now. I have a few other matters to attend to, so if you'll excuse me, duty calls. Thanks for coming. It should come as no surprise that planning a memorial ceremony for a whole bloody nation would keep a man busy. But by Rolga, this is something else. Ara's part's been gathering information on those who died in the war, especially when it comes to the skulls and other conscripts. They're the ones we need to treat most carefully. If we don't acknowledge the crimes of our kin and all the painful truth, then we do a disservice to their victims, living and dead. But if we let people paint them as monsters who did monstrous things we believe we would never do, but we perpetuate a different but no less dangerous lie. As for preparing the event itself, I'll be holding a meeting with members from each of the settlements around Garabania. I've sent invitations to most of them already, but I was hoping you'd help me with the last two. There's Miraz Nun in the Peering Stones, and Zarisha in Viranilia. I'll give you one for each. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they refused, considering how the people suffer at the hands of the skulls. I hope we can remind them that deep down, we're all just people trying to survive, to protect our loved ones. We may have driven the Empire from our lands, but as long as we hold fast to the grudges born of their attempts to divide and set us against one another, we'll never be free of their legacy and cruelty. With that in mind, I've included an account of my experiences with the Silver Griffins and the people I've met. Victims, collaborators, their friends and their family, men and women who lived through it all. Survivors. Even if they refuse to join the ceremony, at least they will know, and hopefully understand, our reasons for holding the event. Granted, I've not had much practice in writing important letters, but I think they'll get the message. You being the one to deliver them will make a world of a difference, I'm sure. Take care, won't you? Greetings, friend. It's been too long since we last spoke. What brings you to my village? Arenval's invitation. The weight of the words within is almost tangible, in addition to the weight of the paper itself. Oh, a little ping on Steam. Check who's... asking me about Warrior 5, so let me just respond to that in the meantime. Actually, now makes it a... Right now is actually a really good opportunity for me to go grab some more water and take a quick toilet break. I shall be right back. Hey, I have returned. Is everything running as it should? Yes, it is. Okay. So the rumors are true. I need not read his letters in full to know its contents. I understand that Dragonfleet's volunteers are working to support the families of those lost in the war, which few will deny is a worthy cause, but to include the relatives of the Crania Lupi. The Skulls watch as the Empire slay us in our thousands, and still they turn their cloaks that fought for our oppressors. And you would ask us to mourn the deaths of these curs alongside their victims? I ask only that you read the rest of the letter. You have every right to be angry and to refuse. Arnvald wishes only that you read his account before coming to a decision. To dismiss it out of hand would be discourteous. Very well. Family. Where's Vin Diesel when you need him? As a nun. Noon? My tribe is my family, and I know all too well the responsibility that brings. I will do anything to protect them. Anything. Loyalty, pride, conscience, my very soul. All are meaningless if I cannot ensure the safety of those I love. I suspect that some skulls had been faced with the self-same choice, but to see how their kin suffered, I cannot say I do not understand, but I wish that I did not. Their crimes will never be forgotten. They cannot be, but I, and any others who are willing, can offer our prayers for these tortured souls, and the men they could have been. I accept the invitation, not on behalf of the M tribe, but as Miraz and Moon. Well, I will put the question to my people that they may decide for themselves. I'm also eager to make the acquaintance of the person who wrote this letter. He is not wont to turn a blind eye to the bitter truth, painful though it is to confront. The meeting will be the perfect opportunity to take his measure. Sure. We got him snake ladies. Welcome. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? The quest is laying the past to rest. Then it is as I suspected. There have been rumors that such a ceremony will take place. Although you have traveled far to make this invitation, I must decline. We cannot mourn the loss of the fallen if the Crania Lupi are to be counted among them. Like the Kalyana, they chose to aid the Guardian oppressors, killing and bleeding for those who would pillage our lands. Cowards and traitors all. And are we to assume that the Kalyana who died fighting for the Empire will be honored as well? If so, there is all the more reason for us to refuse. Yes, you're right, and no one will say otherwise. I come only to present a letter and ask that you read it in full. Araval understands and accepts that you might refuse. His only request was that you read his account, and then decide. If you insist. No one was spared the suffering of the occupation. Not the resistance, not the collaborators, not the families of both. No one. That so many would die in shame and ignominy, having sold their souls, only to lose everything, is a tragedy, and a lesson. If they are forgotten, then the lessons of their folly is forgotten. For the sake of this land we call home, I will join you in remembrance and implore my people to do the same. In mourning, may we strengthen our ties with our neighbors as well. By together facing our past, can we build a foundation for a lasting peace and prosperity. It would be my honor to attend the proposed meeting, and I look forward to personally thanking your friend Arnold for his dedication, and my peers have much to learn from the example he has set. Would I be correct in guessing your friend does not often scribe such letters? I could not help but notice he had forgone the usual platitudes and fanciful phrasing. His directness was most refreshing. So, how do you fare in the fringes? I delivered both letters, and they've both accepted. They say that about me. It's rare for me to get such glowing praise, especially from renowned leaders such as, especially from renowned leaders like Sarisha and Raznu. More importantly, though, they agreed to attend the meeting, and I've got you to thank for that. After all, I imagine it's hard to turn down an invitation when it's hand-delivered by the Warrior of Light himself. Before I get ahead of myself, though, I must remember that this is only the beginning. Bringing everyone together is one thing. Coming to an agreement on an extremely divisive issue is a different kettle of fish entirely, as Her Grace was quick to point out. But as she's taught me, if our cause is just and our hearts are true, those like mine will surely answer the call. And answer it they have. While there are bound to be differences of opinion, I'm sure there's nothing we can't overcome if we put our minds to it. To that end, I was hoping that you could join us, if you've the time to spare. There are a few loose ends Ragnfried and I need to tie up beforehand, so we'll meet you in the palace as soon as we can. Just having you there will make a world of a difference. Just two dudes brawling. Oh, I guess I'll leave them to it. They'll sort themselves out. My boy's drunk. Or desperate. Is there a way for me to ascend the palace from here? Yep, there is. The Royal Menagerie. Royal Palace Guard. Royal Guard. Here for the meeting, yes? Oh, damn, this thing lady is tall, I forgot. So while we all agree upon the importance of the ceremony, we recognize that the inclusion of the cranial lupi will be distressing for many. I, too, lost family at their hands, and I will never ask others to forgive and forget. But for all their crimes, they were Alabegans, just like us. None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly. They had a choice, and they chose to betray us. Who among us have not made difficult choices for kith and kin? And do not forget that Fordola chose to stand between us and the Prime. What does that have to do with it? Brothers and sisters, arguing will avail us not. The fate of Alamigo rests on my shoulders and yours, on those of every man, woman, and child that calls these lands their home. To uphold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones. We all know the weight of these responsibilities. 'Twas that self-same weight which drove many of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was. And though they chose a different, unconscionable path, in the end, we all wanted the same thing, to deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day. Because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all. The regretful dead are survived by their despair, a despair which threatened to drag us all into an abyss from where there is no escape. Know that it surely will, if we welcome it into our hearts out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. But we Alamegans will not be so easily defeated. We will stand united and conquer this menace. Every Alamegan who fought and died did so in hopes that one day we would be free. And we are free. We are free. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we are free. Free to lock away the pain and pretend it has no power over us until it festers and take us in our beds. And free to lay it bare and let it breathe. To acknowledge and to mourn our people at their best and their worst. The past is ours to bear, All of it. For ourselves and for future generations, so that they needn't suffer like we did. Let us make El Amigo a nation where no man is left behind, where he can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded a chance to make a right one. That went better than any of us could have hoped for. You have my gratitude for your part in the proceedings, but we both know who the real hero of the day was. Yeah, I think we both know. I mean, I was just standing there doing fuck all. This was Arenvald's idea, and it was his words that finally won over the naysayers. Now that we have the community leaders on our side, we should have a much easier time convincing the rest of the citizenry. Of course, holding the ceremony is by no means our final objective. No matter what we say, some will refuse to attend. It is my hope, however, that it will serve to provide a measure of closure for us all, and to ease the plight of the vulnerable and ostracized. Speaking of which, you will recall the incident with Ordola and Algana. The young girl she saved and her mother wished to thank her personally. Considering what happened last time, though, I have reservations. It would be a valuable opportunity to present a former skull in a more positive light. On the other hand, I don't need to tell you how unpredictable she can be, and that's before taking her echo into consideration. But that's a conversation for another day. Go get some rest. You've earned it. Salted veterinarian cod. Trail of skulls. The blasphemy hunter may seem calm and collected from a distance, but you suspect something is amiss. Something terrible has happened. What might that be? It's Fordola. She's escaped. Excuse me? She was accompanying a squadron out on a training exercise. One moment she was there, and the next she was gone. I didn't think much of it at the time, but she's been acting strange lately ever since she went to meet that mother and child. You know, the one who wanted to thank her for saving the girl's life. When I told Commander Alden about it, he went charging off into Algana to ask them if they have any idea where Fordola might be. I thought about going after him, but when I heard you were headed this way, I reckoned it'd be better to send you in my stead. Godspeed, Sylvain. And you are correct. Good thinking. Actually, looking at my EXP bar, I probably might need to do a couple of roulettes before I can finish this. And now I can expose myself to the world how much of a shitty healer I am. Uh-huh. Gods be good. What is she thinking? I know you. You're friends with that brave lady, aren't you? Have we done something wrong? Sylvain, I wasn't expecting to see you here. You've heard what's happened then. Just as Fordola was beginning to earn our trust, she has given us the slip. And as you know, she was a choker enchanted to prevent exactly that. If I were to give the order, she'll be dead within moments, and she knows that. She took the risk anyway, so I have to believe she has a good reason. That's what we're looking into now. We're hoping Clarella and young Lily here could shed some light on the matter. We'd like to ask you about your conversation with Fordola, if we may. Yes, of course. I know she's the butcher, or was at least, but it didn't seem right to go without thanking her. That's why I requested the meeting, to express my gratitude, and my apologies. She was quiet at first, just stood there as we spoke, as if she weren't even listening. And then I mentioned the blasphemy, and she looked at Lily, and all of a sudden, clutched her own head and cried out in agony. The echo. Can you remember what you were thinking about at the time? A man. The one I saw in the city. What? Who? Did it have something to do with all those people panicking? I think he did. When I was waiting for you, I saw him. He was by himself. He looked poorly, so I asked him if he was alright, and he said yes. He had a nice smile. He got up and started walking, then... He was shouting and screaming. I was so frightened, I didn't want to talk about it. Not even to Mom. I wish you said something sooner. I'm sorry, Puppet. This is my fault for leaving you on your own. The man who turned into a blasphemy, I wager. The girl saw him, which means Fordola has now seen him too. There was one other thing. When Fordola was having her funny turn, she said something about Charlie? No, Charlotte, I think. Yes, that was it. Ring any bells? Can't say it does, but if he has anything to do with the skulls, the Silver Griffins share some information on him. We'd best have a word with Ragnfried, Ben. You've both been very helpful. I'd also like to thank you for being so kind to Fordola. She may not have said it, but I'm sure it meant a lot to her. I have a couple more things I'd like to ask, so I'll catch up with you later. Whatever she's dealing with, she needn't face it alone. I wish I could have told her that, even though I know she probably wouldn't have listened. Where did the brave lady go? Fordola may well be everything people say she is, or worse. But she did us a good turn that day. I'll never forget it. The feeling this Charlotte and Fordola are connected in some way. Charlotte, you say? Yes. That name came up during our recent investigations. As I recall, he served under the Viceroy during the occupation, and his whereabouts is currently unknown. He had an older brother named Ansfried, one of the Crania Lupi, which will give him a connection to Fordola. Is there anyone who can tell us more about him? Yes, an uncle, who we recently helped find employment here in Alagana. He's actually the one who asked us to look for Charlotte. Charlie? Actually, I think Charlie probably might sound more correct, but then again, they aren't elves, and so it's probably not French pronunciation. French-ish pronunciation. Frankish? You'll most likely find him working at the Sleeping Stones. As it happens, I was planning to bring him something to eat. I'll join you there shortly. You might think a quarry is no place for a man of advanced years, and perhaps you'd be right. The hard times are the only times we've known, even before the occupation, and I doubt they'll change much within my lifetime. Perhaps we should have asked what he looks like. Oh. Still looking, eh? That's him, over there. Oh, we're not interrupting. No, no, of course not. It's good to see you, Ragged Breed. My word. The Bull of Alamigo and the Champion of the Alliance. What brings such esteemed guests to our humble, quarry? At ease, my good fellow. We merely wished to ask you about your nephew. Charlotte, you found him? No luck yet, then. Is there anything you can tell us more about his childhood, perhaps? Wasn't much of one, I'm afraid. Poor boy's life was ruined long before he had any say in the matter. His parents and I swore allegiance to Garlemald to secure ourselves and our kin citizenship. For all the good it did us here, living amongst our countrymen who treated us as pariahs, took its toll on him and his brother, to be spat on as traitors by association. One thing led to another, and Ansfrid, together with most of his friends, joined the Imperial Army. That's how he started, you know. Crania Lupi, Gaia's loyal little pups. Do you remember the names of these friends? Yes, they had quite a reputation growing up. There was Emlyn, Rudolph, and the angry little girl who would grow up to become the butcher herself. Fordola. Charlotte was part of their group too, yes? From what we've heard, he chose not to become a soldier. Wouldn't have lasted a day in training. He knew that better than anyone, of course. Not that it helped him feel any less guilty for turning his back on others. He blamed himself for their deaths, for not stopping them when he had the chance, for not being strong enough to fight by their side. Maybe save them. Maybe not. But he wasn't there, and wished he had been. Then one day, he was gone. These notes. Hello, Eruko. Hey, Kirst. Welcome, welcome. How has your day been? Thank you for stopping by the way. Wherever he is, I hope he's safe and well. Good. Good, in all caps. Oh, tell me. Tell me more about your day. What's been good? I post ARR on Aegis, finally. Nice. Very good. Very good. You've been through. Now, once you've once you've gone through like the slog of the post AR quests, which they've fixed, or rather they've condensed a lot, I think. You can begin into Heavensward, and then oh boy, are you in for a ride. So do we. Thank you for the information the information you've shared should prove useful. And for you, I've brought some food. Why don't you call it a day and go enjoy it with your family? It's already condensed? Oh yeah, it's already condensed. Back when I played Heavensward, or rather ARR and the post-ARR quests, there was, and I'm not exaggerating, over 100 of the quests. Sure did feel like I did 100 quests. Let him have the peace for now. Back to Elegana. Have you seen the Cape Westwind rework? I've not experienced it myself, but yeah, it's less of a curb stomp now. I heard, since it's reduced to like a four-man duty now. Like before the rework, right? It's pretty much just like with like 8 dudes, you just like just beat the shit out of what, Rillatin? What's his name? Rillatin? Yeah, just beat the shit out of him in like less than 5 minutes. No, I mean like it's better as in it's actual experience now, better than like it's instance so lonely. Ah, I see. I'm probably thinking of something else. Yeah, but back then I think it was a trial, maybe? I don't remember. Basically, it was just a dude just clowning him. It was kind of funny. And because I think it wasn't like level or item synced, he pretty much had brought in like his strongest gear and it's like you could face tank him. I honestly, the DPS alone could probably just like stand in front of him and just like tickle, like not even tickle, like stab him to death, and the healer wouldn't need to do anything. Hardest content in AR. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's the most challenging trial in all of A Realm Reborn. Cape West win. Cape West win is real. Once we know for certain what has become of Charlotte, we'll have to tell his uncle. That little girl's worried about Fordola. As for the mother, oh, it's complicated. Understandable, really. So not only was his brother a member of the Skulls, his Skulls parasite unit, but Charlotte himself was a childhood friend of Fordola's. I'm told he refused to support our Silver Griffins as well. He's been trying to make his own way for some time now. His brother and his friends died as Specula Imperatoris, save for Fordola. And the gods only know how he felt about her after that. Or how Fordola felt about Charlotte after seeing Lily's memory of him transforming into a blasphemy. Brother of a man she killed, and her childhood friend beside. She thinks she's responsible for this. That's why she ran, to kill the beast. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm worried for her. Fordola is a survivor, and an outcast herself. Exactly the sort of person the Silver Griffins are trying to support. You've seen for yourself the sacrifices she's willing to make. And if you can learn to feel sympathy for her, maybe others can too. I think we've had enough information for the time being. Let's return to the city and plan our next move. The saying goes, history is written by the victor. I'll wager those who swore loyalty to Garlemald never thought they'd find themselves on the losing side. But they did, and they paid the price. They paid a price. Maybe not enough for some, but we've got to draw a line somewhere. To some, Fordola is a monster worse than any blasphemy. But I've seen enough working with the Silver Griffins to realize it's never that simple. I want to believe there's hope for her, and that there's hope for us all. You should know that our mutual friend Cephalist is down bad for Fordola. I've assigned a few of my soldiers to assist the Silver Griffins in investigating Charles' background. With luck, we will find him quickly, and then we can prepare for what must come after. We're all but certain Charles is the one who's transformed into a blasphemy. And so there's not to be done but put him out of his misery. As for Fordola, I put Manago and her troops in charge of tracking her. Once they found her, they have my permission to lend whatever support they deem necessary. If it comes to it, I may ask you to join the search. Until such time, I ask that you take this opportunity to rest. Oh, thanks for the fish. Yep, I knew it. Got a level. I'll try avoiding MSQ because God knows how long that takes. Let's do a roulette in the meantime. I just have like only 6 million EXP to cover before I can finish the last bit of this quest. Thankfully, I've had a little bit of practice with healer in the duty dungeons, so I'm not gonna suck too much. Oh, it's a ferrochemical facility, and I'm stuck with, oh god. Oh shit, I got hit by the stun. Oh. Oh wait, that's the wrong button.
I will crush you underfoot! Savages. In the name of the Emperor! Enough! Enough! this?
The day is yours, but we will meet again. And take goes. Hey, I have my emergency heals back. Fantastic. Really love like the little bit of like the Heaven's Sword theme in this dungeon OST. Look. Nope. Oh. Alright, cool. Still doing good on MP.
darkness shall consume light.
Oh.
Mortal scum!
Know your place.
It's a bit different from what I remember.
Chaos shall reign forevermore.
Your light shall burn no more.
Yeah, actually, they did change the phase 1 fight. God damn. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Jesus Christ. Hey, 2 accommodations. Very nice. Yeah, I was sweating over there. I have never done bad version of the fight before. Yeah, I suppose like latest like a 6.3 patch like changed quite a few fights. Which is funny because like just a couple of days ago I did that fight. And it was a lot different. Jesus Christ, how is he doing? Yeah, I need to kill this guy. Oh shit, it is taking some hits there. Yeah, a lot of hits. Right. What's that everyone in as well? Oh yeah, I think this is a different route entirely. I don't remember this. Low level Sage, not great. very cool. Hey, it's a dance party. I don't think it quite matters where we go, my man. Green key for the Ivy door. Oh. Did not know ninjas were introduced post ARR. Really? I thought it was like a base class, like for since ARR. Like that's like the progression for rogue. Oh right, yeah. Base class also introduced post ARR. It's probably like fairly early into the game, I think. Yugiri might be beloved. Good choice. Good choice. Lady Amandine. You can misspell Merlwyn. Alright, we're kind of hard though. Yeah, no, I definitely agree here. Oh, Jesus. Oh my life, I've never seen a dungeon since fucking Orban Bill be so aggressive with poison. Oh fuck. Nice. I am level 30. Do I have a 30? I did not. Let me just eat this. It's stuck an entire parchment in my mouth. Okie dokie, I think that should put me up to a level 90 now. It does, yes, fantastic. It's time to finish this and then I can go to sleep. The Gift of Mercy. The Blossomy Hunter is even more flustered than usual, with good reason. Thank goodness you're here. Commander Alden needs to see you right away. Follow me. Keep it contained until I arrived, but do not engage if you can help it. Understood? That was Minago. Her unit has found Fordola, or rather, she has found them. In fact, I have Fordola on the search party's link pro. She wants a word with you. Beep beep. This is urgent, so be quiet and listen. The blasphemy, my friend, is right in front of us. I tracked him down. When he spotted me, he started heading towards Specula Imperatoris. Look, Sylvain, I need your help. Charlotte's not... He never wanted to hurt anyone, but this thing he's become is... I can't leave him like this. I've got to stop him, whatever it takes. Wait till we get there. Do not engage. Is that clear? I owe you. This is Nago. Can you hear me? We've got a blasphemy surround. Ugh, it's on the move. Get ahead of it, but maintain distance. We need to... Fordola. What are you doing? Fordola. Fordola. There's no time to waste. We need our help. Ralga's beard. Once she's got a mindset, there's no stopping her. She's convinced herself she's responsible for this mess, that she created the blasphemy single-handedly. All I ask is that you see, she makes it out of this alive. She's come so far, and I don't want to lose her. Radiata and Aligiri are not that far from Specula Imperatoris. If we let the blasphemy slip through our fingers, it doesn't bear thinking about. Hold on a second. Hold on a diddly darn second. Let me check whether if Radiata Stories was done by Square Enix as well. It is! Yeah, just give me a quick second here. It's like... Oh, I can use a direct link to that. Yeah, this. Oh, that's big picture. Yeah, Radiata Stories. I absolutely love this RPG back when I was a kid. It's on the PS2. I don't know whether if it was on Xbox or not, but I had a PS2 and that's where I played it on. And my god, it's a good RPG. It's a Square Enix game as well, so that explains a lot. Yeah, PS2 gang. Alright, let me just get this off the screen. But, I mean, definitely do check it out, even if it's just like a playthrough of the game. Really good RPG, very good story, and the art style is pretty good at the time. I actually really do like the art style, like even not just like the way that they did the characters, but like design of everything in general. Very, very nice, very based. Alright, time to finish this. Let's go rescue Fordola. And while Fordola is determined to slay it by her own hand, we cannot allow her recklessness to put the lives of others in jeopardy. The time has come for action. Are you ready? Look at this boy. Hold the line, for as long as you can. Commander Alden and the Warrior of Light will be here at any moment. Stay strong. Holy shit. It's kicked him in the shin. Holy shit. You've done well. Leave the rest to us. Yeah, Robot is Giga Chan. I have no idea how heavy this like blasphemy is. It probably weighs like a ton or more. He just like kicked it in the shin and stumbled. Yes, sir. Get the injured to safety. Coward. Coward. Traitor. To them. To everyone. Ew. For the linen skirt. I wish there was another way. And so do I. But fighting's the only thing I'm good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother. Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going into battle, about getting hurt, about having to hurt other people. He's a bleeding heart, our Charlotte. Sooner befriend a fly than shoo it away, much less kill it. I could kill it if I wanted. I could. But you don't. And there's no shame in that. Leave the soldiering to us, Charlotte. We'll show the Guardians what we're capable of. Get the power and respect we deserve. And then, things will change. They will. You'll see. We found a place for ourselves, and you'll find yours soon enough. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisting, meet back here tomorrow. In the end, what good did I do? They gave everything they had to give, while I hid like a rat waiting for the storm to pass. Coward. 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 My man's gotta stop blaming himself. Better dead. Better forgotten. That's right, look a little sussy. It's not your fault, Charlotte. It's not. You didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the coward. The traitor. Butcher, I'll always be. The butcher. Don't you dare, Frodola. You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. You have a lifetime to make amends and atone, to become something more than you were. But if you die here, you're everything they say, everything you believe. Is that what you want? She's not going anywhere. Arvel, why are you here? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. I've seen in your past, Charlotte, how you left behind while your friends rushed into battle. It's bloody hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately with every fiber of your being, knowing that you should be able to. You should, but you can't. So you find another way to support them. Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them. Even if it didn't feel like it. But you were, Charlotte. You were. As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. The history of Alamigo is written in blood. While we cannot change the past, we can change the future. And for that, we must all play our part. All of us. You too, Fordola. Answerin, Emlyn. One day we'll be together again, but not yet. You never hurt anyone, Charlotte. That's not who you are. You'll be remembered as the kind soul you always were. I'm counting on you. Hey, who's the main tank? They're both gladiators, what the fuck?
As one!
Alright, Rob on. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh fuck, I am out of mana.
Show them what we're made of!
Yeah, Rohan fucking Giga Chat. Jesus. What is...
Raw Tizona!
There's some power in this shit right here.
Try this!
Holy shit. That was pretty cool. Yeah, enjoying Final Fantasy 14 a lot already. You and I both, man. You and I both. Thank you. I mean it. So gonna try the 68 before I start on 2 servers. Alright, let's go. I love that stuff, even the AR is pretty cool. Yeah, it really is. Especially like the stuff that really happens right before the Heaven's Ward starts. It's it really amps up the story. Hey, nice. Oh yeah. Oh, you are going to enjoy it, my man. Been looking everywhere for you. Have you now? We put down the last remaining beasts spawned by the blasphemy. 'Tis a pity we could do naught for those who turn, but that we were able to prevent further casualties is nothing short of a miracle. It's astonishing, too, looking back to Charlotte's case. Although his existence spurred others to transform, he never attacked any settlements or travelers. Even when he underwent the change in the middle of a crowded street, those who were present escaped with minor injuries at worst. I think that deep down, his compassion is what kept the raging blasphemy at bay. The only time he emerged from hiding was the journey to the place where his brother died. It's clear he still retains some semblance of his former self. Another victim of the Empire's terrible legacy, along with his friends and so many others. But the Crania Lupi wasn't the creation of the Imperials alone. Many of those youths sought a place with them because they were denied one with us. That's why the memorial ceremony is so important. It's our chance to face our past together, to give them in death what we couldn't in life. To not deny anyone a place in memory, even if it hurts or makes us feel ashamed. You'll be attending, won't you? I haven't been ordered to, so I suppose not. In light of your leal service to El Amigo, I intend to have the conditions by which you are bound eased. Providing I am able to obtain approval, you will be granted a degree of freedom. At the very least, we should soon have no need for that choker. There'll be no objections from me. You've done well. The mega scenario. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were smiling. Well, for once I couldn't be happier her efforts are being recognized. It gives me that much more motivation to continue my work with the Silver Griffins and bring the people of El Amigo closer together. Got to do my best to keep up with a certain little lordling, eh? I think we've done enough for one day. Time we got some rest. Allow me, as both the guardian of El Amigo and as your sworn comrade, to express my thanks to coming to our aid in these desperate times. No matter what manner of disaster may befall us, your presence alone is enough to keep the flame of hope burning bright. Even someone on the very precipice of despair, such as Fordola, can find salvation in your guiding light. Laying it on a bit thick, aren't you? Heavens forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. You're something of an immortal flame yourself. Oh my god, it's some really cheesy ass lines. I'll have to rewatch this cutscene sometime, like on YouTube, and see what the options are. But this is something I would say is, heavens forbid people will stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. And put you healers out of a job. Not a chance. Though in all seriousness, we could all stand to take fewer risks. They have quite a bit of cheesy lines. Yes, they do. But I think that one was like really like, hamming it up. In any case, it's safe to say we've all benefited enormously from your sterling work here. We couldn't ask for a better healer, or a better friend. Our ambassador at Razahan will be relieved to learn of our successes here. If you happen to cross paths, give him my regards, would you? No matter how many times I come here, I'll never get tired of like the BGM. Yeah, Razahan is the funkiest like BGM. I've heard you've been doing a lot of good work in Alamigo and in Ulda. Still, who better to tell the tale than the hero of the hour? Haven't unlocked the other regions yet. Yeah, once you sub, you're gonna enjoy it, man. They all really have good music. Greetings. How goes it in Alamigo? Eliminating blasphemies, helping organize a memorial ceremony. They certainly kept you busy. Not that soon, sadly. Eventually. One day. You know, just go at it at your own pace, you know, there's no rush. Game will always be here. A fine example of going above and beyond the call of duty. I'll be sure to send words of your exploits to Ulda. Wait till the Sultana hears about this. Her Grace will not be the only one to welcome this news. On behalf of the Grand Company of Eorzea and our allies, allow me to express my most heartfelt gratitude. Oh yeah. Yeah, the dark blue is really good. There's ink blue, there's a midnight blue. I think I might go with midnight blue for this one because you can kind of see like the black highlights here a bit better. Look at that. Yeah, it really is. Ah, yes. These are my glasses. Yeah, no, I'm keeping the hat off. Oh, if I should try dyed gloves. Let's take a look. Well, I kind of like the color, but I think the white balances out the middle section a bit better. Kind of makes sense as well. It's like if you're playing healer or medic, you'll probably be wearing white gloves. It fits the aesthetic. It's already noticeable, I think. Actually, no, it's kind of noticeable. Dye it black. Spanking new outfit for my sage. Very cool. Okay. Oh, that is it, Sage. Oh, next gonna be rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting. I mean, that's not like the artifact weapon, but I really do like the shape of this. Alright, well, next we come back, we are gonna go to Fantasy Japan and deal with whatever problems that they have over there. Very Bloodborne-y. That's exactly the vibe I was going for. Let me show you my portrait for... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for my machinist portrait. Perfect. Yeah, buddy. Nailed it. Alright, let's take a look and see who else is streaming. Absolutely no one. Fantastic. Okay, oh. yeah, with that, that is it for stream for today. I don't know whether will I be streaming tomorrow or the day after, but Friday night, most likely I will be streaming. Yeah, I think Friday night most likely I should be streaming. And I shall be doing the physical ranged DPS role quest. It's gonna be real bizarre. I'm basically like a Victorian era cowboy, and I'm gonna go to feudal Japan, and I'm just gonna solve them with the power of my gun. Taking down Blossomies with the power of friendship and this gun I found. Alright, well, with a gun. It's not just a gun. Actually, I don't know whether I can use chainsaw skill here. No, I cannot. However, I can do this. 10 whole seconds of flamethrower, my man. That's definitely gonna solve my problems. Oh, yep. War crime skill. It's only a war crime if you lose. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's actually a lot of things I do want to do in Final Fantasy. Yeah, finishing the role quest is one thing. After, I also want to do the Pandemonium raid quests. Oh, yeah, Pandemonium raid quests. And also Aglaya Euphrosyne, like the new raid from 6.3. I also want to do the... Actually, no, before I do any of that, I'm going to do the Mandeville quests as well. It's a whole different experience. I've heard people say that the main story is actually the Hildebrand quests, and everything else is just a side quest. So much content. Yeah, so plenty of content. Yep. Alright, well. It's not for real. The Hildebrand series of quests is extremely fucking funny from what I've heard of everyone who's done it. It's like, it is an actual like comedy. Alright. Well then, that is it for me for today. And I shall see you all in a couple of days. Thank you all for stopping by. I'll see you again. And good night.